I'd like to introduce Beverly Warne. She's an educator at South Dakota State University, College of Nursing in Rapid City, South Dakota. She will give her perspectives on the previous talks as a community elder.
I'm Bev Warne, and I am a nurse, and I work at South Dakota State University, College of Nursing, and my work is with Native students. All of my work is with Native students, and I love it. I mean, I could be retired, but I choose not to. And now we have 2 more people who are also retired nurses, Native nurses. So that is the population that we are recruiting. Didn't mean to, but it works, so why not? It's been, I don't know if there's any program like that in the United States or anywhere, but try it. It might work for you too in your community. It's working at Rapid City. That's where I work. And I have some, I don't know, I can't, oh, there it is. Oh my. Okay. This is a quote from Sitting Bull of a leader, one of our leaders of many years ago. And this is from 1872, about that time. And he said, "Let us put our minds together and see what life we can make for our children." That's exactly what you're doing here today. You're putting your minds together, learning from each other, opening your hearts and your minds, and listening to all these words of wisdom and words that people worked hard to prepare for you to hear. So what he said that many years ago is still true today. We all need to do that. Just listen to each other, put aside anything that you might have predisposing that person standing up there trying to teach what they have learned. And then the next slide is a little personal for me. This is what my Lala, which this is what we called our maternal grandfather, taught us. The first 6 years of my life, this is what I heard. I didn't hear fortitude or humility or wisdom. I didn't hear any definitions. He would just start drumming at dawn. And when he drummed a while, then he would start singing his morning prayer. And the morning prayer was not rote. It was as he felt that morning or that evening, because he did the same thing in the evening time. And he would sing about one of these values. They're all directions. The 4 directions are fortitude, wisdom, courage, and generosity. And then up is honor, down, respect. And he sang a lot of stories about humility, because I think he knew what was coming for us at that time. This was a very long time ago. This was before World War II. And this is what he did. Twice a day, he would sing stories. So those stories stayed with us. He didn't say fortitude is and give direction. We didn't even hear those words. We heard stories about someone, an animal, or an individual who did a task that showed one of those 7 values. So that's what we heard every morning. And then at dusk, when it started getting dark, he would start drumming. And that was our signal to go inside and listen. And back in those days, that's what we did. We didn't argue. We didn't say, but it's too early. Because it wasn't. It was just as the light was turning down that he would do that. And so we heard these stories twice a day. After the evening prayer, he would sing one of those values again about somebody who completed a task that showed what that is, whether it's humility or fortitude, any of them. So that's how I was raised as an individual many years ago. And so when I heard those stories twice a day for the first 6 years of my life, I knew who I am. And so my first school in Pine Ridge, South Dakota, was the boarding school. And they couldn't beat those out of me because I knew. I think that's what our children need today. I really do. So what I do in my work with student nurses, because they too at that age are asking, I want to know who I am. I want to know my culture, my language. I was never taught, some of them even from the reservations. So that's part of what we do at this work site that I'm talking about, is trying to incorporate cultural knowledge. I heard those beautiful, beautiful definitions of what is culture. Those students that asked, no, they want to know who they are as Indigenous. They know they feel different in classrooms. They know they feel different in different settings now. They know it, and so they're wanting it, they're asking. So here we are, the three of us, trying to do it. And so I'm sharing this with you today because I want you to do the same thing. Every one of you can adopt or just start talking to kids or anybody about, you could use those words. They all wind up being the very good way to live your life. Make your life decisions based on those values, and you'll be okay. So I'm talking about the Native American Nursing Education Center, and we started this program 8 years ago when the dean at that point in time said, we're losing too many of our Native students. Would you come back to work and set up a program like you had at Arizona State? And of course I was willing to. This is my tribe, you know, and I still have the energy and the capacity to think and work and move, and I love nursing. I mean, I've been a nurse 60 years and I haven't burned out yet, so I guess I won't. But I do. I like listening to them. I like listening to their excitement when they talk about a new skill. I mean, somebody else may think it was kind of a boring thing to listen to, but I don't. It's exciting to hear those young minds finding out how to do a new nursing skill and being thrilled about it, because I'm just as thrilled as they are. And so I mentor, we have 15 right now, and then we have about the same number in pre-nursing, where they're studying those courses to prepare to apply for the nursing major. Becoming a nurse is not easy academically. So if you ever have a nurse or somebody who thinks they want to be a nurse, you need to tell them the truth, that it is not easy, but you have to work at it. And you can go to a program where there be people who are dedicated to that very task of helping you succeed. So we started with the 7 talking circles on the western half of South Dakota, because our first grant only covered the western half. And the reason they did that is because the larger reservations are on the western half. And so we asked students what helped you the most or what hindered you the most during those years of becoming, well, first of all, getting interested in talking to people. Who helped you and what did they say to motivate you, keep you motivated? And we pretty much decided what they would say, and they confirmed everything. So we knew we were on the right path for those students in South Dakota. So that's how we started NANIC. And our work is to recruit. It's not as hard to recruit anymore because they're beginning to know about what we do. And so they come to us. Of course, we still go out, but it isn't such it's not a huge part of what we do anymore. The huge part of what we do is retention. We do 4 areas of assistance. The first one is financial. You know that. Everybody, I mean, all our students come from poor backgrounds. They know what hunger is. They know what poverty is, like we do. And they look at us as if we don't. And so we tell them, we've been through what you've been through many years ago. And we want you to get past those feelings of inadequacy or whatever it is that people are telling you. Don't listen. You're special. And we say that for 5 semesters. And by the time they finish, they are special. And they know it. They feel it. So when you hear them speak as freshmen and then at the 5th semester, you realize the growth and development of our students is phenomenal. And it's all because of culture. That's what I'm calling it today. If I speak on this again, I don't know what I'll call it, but it is culture. It is who they are, and that's what they want to know. So it's recruitment, retention, graduation, and our mentorship does not end at graduation. It's a ceremony telling the public that they finished successfully in that College of Nursing. It is not the NCLEX. There's another test coming up after that, and they have to pass that or they don't get a license. So that's huge. So our support covers them through licensure. Wahampinawaonspe is our superlearn. This is an example of one of the elders in our community who used to support our program. She's now gone, but she said, Bev, I'll talk about anything, just tell me. And I said, well, how about Lakota ways of staying healthy? And pretty much it goes along with what we already know. But she's there talking about staying healthy using the Lakota symbolism of the medicine wheel. This is a way to teach those students to appreciate who they are. By using that medicine wheel, the symbolism of it is very meaningful. It's comprehensive. And so that's what she's doing right there. Oh, and those are the different talks that we've had throughout the years. We're planning one for this month for 2 of our people who went to New Zealand a couple of weeks ago to talk to the Maori people, and that's what they're going to teach us. And this is a picture of 7 or 8 tutors, but they're not tutors, they're college graduates. They're all Lakota. They work in Pine Ridge. And what they're doing is singing a song it looks like they're singing to that hill. And they are, because on that hillside is 50 children who were buried there during the boarding school years. So they were found. And the way they were found was the elders in the community. They kept saying, what about the children? What about the children? They all knew. But no one was looking until a group of us now are doing that. And it's a whole group of volunteers. And it's not just Lakotas, it's a whole group of people like this, a nice variety of people. And this is that spot. The current journey for that is we're going to make a place where you can go when you go to Rapid City, read about those 50 children, and read the truth. They're not going to hide it like they've been all these years. We're out in the open now, and I want you to take that as one of your lessons from this conference. You have the permission to tell the truth. It's not. It's different now. We all need to tell the truth, and we can do that. I'm doing that right now. I thought, what am I going to talk about with these wonderful speakers before me? Well, I thought, well, I have something to say as an elder. I've been around a long time. I've absorbed a lot of experiences, and I enjoy coming to these conferences because it doesn't ever disappoint me. I always learn something from people in this audience. Look at you, all of you, young, middle-aged, elder, and you all have something to teach each other, so be open to that. Chaheche tumitapi api, kilamaya.